Who wants to talk about citizens' initiatives? Well, probably no one, but we're going to have a conversation about citizens' initiatives anyway. It seems that the left and the right, the blue and the red team, love to fight each other about this topic, and I really almost think that it's, yet again, part of the duopoly that it's even a discussion. Is there an issue with citizens being able to vote on potential legislation that can get sent to the legislature and passed or not passed by the legislature and the governor? That seems like a silly question, since it seems pretty simple that the people should be able to submit legislation to the legislature. I mean, that is why we have a citizen legislature. The issue that I know our legislatures would see is that it's circumventing the legislature in that the legislators themselves aren't actually putting in the bills that they're going to be voting on. I can see that as a problem because they want to get paid by all their crony little buddies for installing the legislation that their crony buddies wrote, rather than trying to vote on legislation that the people actually are for or against. So I can see why the legislature would have a problem with that, since it stops lining their pockets. I know that the left side here, the blue team, really loves citizens' initiatives because it's like the voice of the people. You know, it's almost a majority rules kind of idea. And the issue they have with not passing citizens' initiatives is exactly that. They feel that because the majority of Mainers that voted have decided that, you know, whatever, that should be law because they truly believe in majority rules. The right side of the aisle, I believe, has an issue with it, the red team, simply because the left side loves it. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't do anything. It isn't legislation when it's put in. It's legislation that still has to be either amended, voted up, voted down, voted against, or somehow otherwise dealt with. It doesn't just circumvent the legislature in its passing, it circumvents the legislature in its writing. So while we move on with our discussions about whether or not we love or we hate ranked choice voting and raising the taxes to fund education, all these other wonderfully citizens-initiated ideas, let's just keep in mind that it's not legislation that's been passed by the governor and been passed by the legislature just because a bunch of rich millionaires out of state decide to throw some money into Maine, generating some money for our economy, in trying to get their initiatives passed. The real issue is that our legislature doesn't get to make money off it in the same way that they get to make money off their legislation. And the red team and the blue team just want to fight with each other. So that has nothing to do with the actual initiative process, so much as it has to do with them hating one another. So yet again, we're caught up in bipartisan garbage, instead of just moving forward with thinking about what does this really do. It offers the citizens a voice, and it offers the citizens a way to put in front of the legislature some form of idea that the legislature otherwise didn't line their pocket creating. Is it a horrible thing? Not as bad as they're making it. Could it be worse? Sure could. Would it be worse if we ended it? I think it would be. Shouldn't silence the voice of the people just because you want to line the pockets of the few. This is Richard Light, Maine's mouthiest libertarian. Have a great day.